and welcome to the campus of UW-Whitewater. I'm your host, Alex Monty, and alongside me today is Kyler Pfaff. We ask you to please excuse our momentary interruption of sports from your regular daily schedule. Today we will be discussing everything to do with the GOATs of sports. Let's get right into it. The NFL has many different types of players within the league that specializes in different areas, aspects in an NFL game. Outside of all the players within NFL history, who are the GOATs for this position?
Yeah, so I would definitely say Tom Brady would be the GOAT of GOATs for any football player, to be exact, but he's definitely the best quarterback to ever play the game. He obviously has 7 rings, but his longevity is like the one thing that makes him, not like the others, and that makes it completely unmatched. He was the 199th overall pick, so very, very late, 6th round, almost Mr. Irrelevant. So just to go from, such a low draft pick to, one of the best of all time, it definitely shows, how much hard work he has done, how much time he has invested into the game, and how smart he is as a football player as well to read defenses and, break them down and hopefully get a W for his team.
Yeah, and all the superlatives you said and more really don't quite amount to what he truly has done for the league and what he has done within his career. I mean, you look at the records that he's broken and all the things that he said. I mean, let me get the stats correct here. Leads the league in in passing yards all time with 89,214, 9,000 more than the second closest. 649 touchdowns, 78 more than the second closest. And then he also has 7,700 completions, which is 600 more than the next closest. And of course, can't talk about Brady without talking about Super Bowls and all of his rings. He's been in 10 Super Bowls, has a 7-3 record, and those 7 rings is more than any other franchise individually. Obviously, 6 of those came with the Patriots, but then the one with Tampa was able to break the tie and set him apart from Bill Belichick and everything. And I feel like that adds on to his legacy all the more, is just the fact that he was able to do it on his own per se, rather than just being a part of that system.
Yeah, and Tom Brady has definitely been in games as well where he has come back from large deficits, including, the Super Bowl against the Falcons, the largest Super Bowl comeback in NFL history. That again shows how great of a, competitor Tom Brady is and how much he's willing to sacrifice in order for his team to win. He also is the NFL leader in passing yards, attempts, touchdowns, and in both the regular and postseason, so that just shows his true dominance.
Yeah, and speaking of the postseason, I mean, look at his record, 35-13. It's a lot of games, a lot more than anybody else has ever been able to do, and even then, with so many games, he's done so well. He has a 72% win percentage, and then in the regular season, that percentage goes out to 75%, which is just astonishing to have over a career time span.
Yeah, it's absolutely incredible what Tom Brady has done. Hopefully he thinks about coming back from retirement and, continues on his amazing legacy. But if he was not to do that, he would still be the greatest of all time regardless. So Jerry Rice is another player I would like to talk about. He's a wide receiver from San Francisco 49ers. He has 1,549 receptions and 22,895 yards, where he also had 197 total touchdowns, and he was averaging 14.8 yards per catch.
Yeah, and I mean, it really is just he is a cut above the rest. There's arguments to be made of who's the second best receiver, but when it comes to Jerry Rice, he is the guy. He is the number one, and there really is no disputing. I mean, you talk about the stats. He just dominates in every single category. He got 3 rings. Obviously, that shows, he's winning and he's a champion of sorts, and it's amazing to really look back and see all the things he contributed within the time frame in which he did. It was just the era, and it's just amazing. I wish I could have been able to witness it myself. Next,
Go ahead.
I was going to say, next up we will discuss the GOATs of NBA. Stay tuned for more on UWW TV.
We'd love to show you what it's like to be a Warhawk.
Come on!
Don't miss out on your chance to be a Warhawk.
At UW-Whitewater.
You belong here!
For Hawk Talk, especially on days I'm hosting, you really need to be up early looking at those news stories, even the night before. I'm finding topics that I can incorporate in the show, and I feel like we get a conversation going.
Once you get the opportunity to do that with other people who appreciate it the same level as you do, it makes it that much more enjoyable.
For everything sports, tune in Monday through Thursday at 91.7 The Edge or watch us on UWW TV.
The UW Whitewater Bookstore is your one-stop shop for apparel, textbooks, and technology. Stop in for a wide selection of gifts from our alumni, family, and name brand sections. Need to purchase or rent a textbook? Head downstairs to Textbook Services. Check out our new custom shop and create personalized apparel for your organization. Need a charger, laptop, or headphones? Our new technology section has everything you might need. For more information and bookstore hours, visit uwwhitewaterbookstore.com.
Here at UW Whitewater Intramural Sports, we have a motto: a sport for everyone and everyone in a sport.
It anyways. Oh, she got that. Oh, they're gonna count it.
Had a blast. Always have fun at intramurals.
Every day we strive to go above and beyond that goal by providing healthy exercise, promoting leisure education, and giving students that competitive atmosphere they are looking for.
Yes! Yes!
It's exciting. Brings me back to those high school days with Friday Night Lights.
With our 25 different intramural sports offered, we guarantee that we have a sport for you. Go to our website and find your sport today.
Welcome back to Please Excuse Our Momentary Interruption of Sports from your regular daily schedule. Basketball in the NBA can be considered more of an individualistic sport compared to other major sports, even though there is still plenty of teamwork that goes into an NBA game. From an NBA history, who are the individuals that have separated themselves from the rest and have entered GOAT status?
Yeah, so obviously the number one choice would be Michael Jordan. He's obviously the most known basketball player in the planet. Everybody from China all the way to Russia knows exactly who Michael Jordan is. He's also undefeated in the finals. He has a 6-0 mark in that finals, and also 6 finals MVPs. So every single championship he won, he was the MVP of that series. So that just shows how great he actually was, and how much he dedicated himself to the game in order to complete those tasks, of beating all those teams for the finals.
Yeah, and as you were saying, all the statistics really do prove a lot of dominance. I mean, you mentioned the 6 rings, 5 MVPs, 5th all-time in points. But I mean, when you're also saying everybody knows him, culturally he had a grand impact as well, just off the court. It was amazing what he was able to do. He brought so much attention to the NBA when it didn't have quite as much going for it. It brought star power that changed the game forever, really. I mean, how they officiate the games even, and trying to let the stars play more often is just, it's an impact that really is irreplicable in the end of the day. And I mean, there's also the big memorable moments of his, like the flu game, the shot in '89, the game in which his jersey was stolen. He had to wear the other one. It's crazy. And then also Space Jam, that still lives on. All the kids nowadays still remember that. And it's the things beyond basketball that really highlight everything that he was.
Yeah, I think you hit that right on the head because, Michael Jordan, he's more than a basketball player. He obviously, has done, movies where he has, try and create his publicity, trying to gain more popularity in that aspect. And then that also, drew more attention to the NBA. So in the 1992, when they had the Olympic team come out and it was the Dream Team, who was the star player on the Dream Team? It was Michael Jordan. So even everybody on that team said Michael Jordan was the best player on that team, and he was definitely, the one that helped him, win the gold that year.
Then another player to mention, obviously, is LeBron, the king. He's always mentioned in these conversations as well. And after setting the new career score record, he's really cemented himself as one of the greats as well. Let's transition to the MLB. During the 19th century, baseball was once recognized as the national sport of the United States. Though plenty of time has passed since then, there has also been a plethora of remarkable players throughout its history. So, who are the GOATs within MLB history?
Yeah, so obviously you would want to include Babe Ruth and Hank Aaron. You would also want to include Willie Mays, the tremendous outfielder. Just some stats for Babe Ruth here. He has a career batting average of .342, which is absolutely ridiculous. He has 714 home runs in his career with 136 triples. He also has 2,873 hits in his career and 60 home runs in the 1927 season.
Yeah, I mean, obviously Babe Ruth is not easy answer, but that's one of the popular answers. I mean, what he was able to do, what he is, and like the legacy that he's established is astounding. But going back onto Hank Aaron, that's another big name. I mean, depending on what you believe, he's possibly first all-time home runs, first undisputably in RBIs with 2,297, and third in hits total. Then going back to Willie Mays, great defensive player realistically. I mean, the Say Hey Kid, the catch in, the 54 World Series Game 1. I mean, it's just, he was one of those early stars that really helped to create baseball into the American pastime that it is today.
Yeah, and Hank Aaron, some accolades to go with him. He was an MVP once. He played from 1954 all the way to 1976. And he was a 3-time Gold Glove winner, a 2-times batting title champion, and a 1957 World Series champion. And then, of course, he was also 25 times All-Star, which is a record that's still waiting to be broken.
Yeah, and speaking of accolades, back to Willie Mays, 12-time Gold Glove winner and a 2-time MVP. So definitely things to hang his hat on. But hitting isn't the only thing. There's also pitching to consider in the past. I mean, look at Nolan Ryan. The 7 no-hitters is just unmatchable, unbelievable, and it's just incredible. He won the World Series with the Miracle Mets back in '69, and he is first all-time in strikeouts with a total of 5,714.
And the last player I'd like to mention real quick would be Barry Bonds, where he has 2,935 hits along with 762 home runs. His career batting average is just below 300, 298, and then he has 514 stolen bases.
And then another guy, I mean, Cy Young, the award is named after him, and I mean, obviously that is deserved. You look at it, he's first all-time with wins and first all-time in complete games. So it's no wonder why the Cy Young is the Cy Young. Next, the GOAT athletes that cemented their places within sports history forever. You're watching PEOMIOSFYRDS on UWW-TV.
Matt checking in to see how Sam is doing on his project, and it's getting close to exporting now, the final step in the process. And it is complete, and Sam is hyped. Finally gets complete and spikes the ball into the end zone. Sam's celebrating with his colleagues, and they throw a flag on the play. The ref's going to call excessive celebration. Sam is in disbelief and can't believe it. He tries to dispute the call, but the ref is not having any of it.
CREW is a faith-based organization for UW-Whitewater students. Their mission? To create an inclusive Christian community for students looking to explore or grow their faiths.
For me specifically, it's been amazing to just have people to walk alongside with my Christian journey on.
They always say to go and experience new things while you're at college, and I think this is just another one of those things that you should experience.
CREW welcomes all students and is held at Summers Auditorium on Tuesdays at 7:30 p.m. Come join our CREW.
The PB Poorman Pride Center is the place to go for LGBTQ+ resources, information, and community. Located in the Warhawk Connection Center, while there, you can meet people like Mia.
And I serve Impact as president this fall, as well as working for the Pride Center. Impact is our queer LGBTQ+ and ally organization on campus. We meet once a week, and we do a lot of social events as well as education events.
It feels like I'm way more accepted here than when I was in high school. It is like a really big family.
Along with acceptance, in the Pride Center you can find a little library, a clothing closet, and a satellite location of the Warhawk Food Pantry.
It just feels like a home to me, you know? It feels like my home away from home, and there's such a community here that is so wonderful and full of joy.
For more information, follow the Pride Center on Instagram at UWW_PRC.
Welcome back to the show. Alongside Kyler Pfaff, I'm Alex Monti. The world of sports is one of the biggest industries and activities throughout the entire world. Though there are many sports to pick from, whether you're watching or playing it, sports in general were able to grow thanks to the athletes that participated in them. Within any kind of sport, who are the GOAT athletes?
Yeah, so I would definitely like to include Muhammad Ali on this list. Obviously, he should be in the Mount Rushmore for greatest athletes of all time. Muhammad Ali has had, his nickname the greatest for a reason. He had 56 wins with 37 knockouts. That is very, very impressive. And he was also the first fighter to win the World Heavyweight Championship on 3 separate occasions. So that's another defeat that puts him, past the others.
Yeah, and there's so many iconic moments with him. I mean, I know there's a picture hanging in a couple Italian restaurants I've seen that just, you see it and you know, it's Muhammad, it's him. Another athlete to consider would be Michael Phelps. What he did in the swimming world is unmatched and unrivaled. He really set himself apart from everybody and anybody to ever do it within the Olympics or anything in that regard. I mean, he set world records in regards to his Olympic accomplishments, had 23 golds, 28 medals total, which is just insane when you look at it. I mean, obviously there's team events and individual events, but I mean, it's incredible. And the 7 world records that he holds is just another level of greatness to his name.
Yeah, and the 7 records, I definitely think that still puts him, to one of the best, athletes of all time. Definitely the greatest Olympian of all time. He has 13 individual gold medals and then 16 individual medals. So he definitely has a lot on his resume. And he also has 28 medals which is nearly double the next competition. So that just proves how much he actually, changed the game and dominated the sport.
Yeah, and then speaking of the Olympics, Usain Bolt is another iconic name that's become big within pop culture throughout generations. It's like, oh, when you're talking about something fast, you're talking about Usain Bolt. He had the signature pose, and again, much like Michael Phelps, he had the world records and the Olympic records and all the gold medals. He had 8 golds total within his 4 games played, as well as 3 world records held within the 3 different events. One of them was a Group 1, a 4-person, and then the other 2 was the 100-meter and the 200-meter individually.
So turning away from those kind of sports, we're going to go to hockey. The GOAT of hockey would obviously be Wayne Gretzky. He has 61 NHL records. He has 163 assists and 215 points, which is the most, which is a record for a season. He has a point streak of 51 games. He has 894 career goals, along with 2,857 career points. So 15 of those seasons of 100 or more, and 13 of them were in a row, which is very impressive for a hockey player standpoint.
Yeah, he really is the quintessential player, and all the accomplishments and records that he set have just been so difficult to reach for so long, and it's hard to really imagine anybody doing it anytime soon. When we come back, we'll present our final thoughts for this week's episode. Stay tuned.
What does it mean to be a Warhawk?
It means allowing myself to dream big and think outside the box.
Pushing the limits of what I think is possible.
Seeing ideas through from start to finish.
Collaborating with professors and peers.
And seizing opportunities in the community to put my knowledge to use.
I'm studying abroad.
Learning another language.
And listening to the stories of others.
I'm making lifelong friends and fearlessly sharing my gifts with the world.
As a Warhawk, I stay balanced,
take great care of myself,
and get out of my comfort zone.
I refuse to let the past determine my future.
And I'm taking confident steps in the direction of my dreams.
Sometimes it doesn't make sense.
And other times it couldn't be more exciting.
But I will keep my goals in mind
and never quit.
Because
that's the Warhawk way.
UWW-TV has been an important part of the campus and community since 1980.
Not only providing on-air learning opportunities for broadcast journalists and electronic media production students,
but educating and entertaining our audiences with award-winning news, live sports coverage, original programming,
as well as dedicating a mission to developing creative collaborations throughout campus.
For more information, visit our website and like us on Facebook.
Check us out because you got to see what's on UWW-TV.
Here at UWW, we put a lot of emphasis on shaping your involvement. Involvement helps you get to know more people with similar values and goals as yourself. The Student Involvement Office can help you get involved with organizations on campus, or we can help you start a brand new one. So what are you waiting for? It's time to shape your involvement at UWW. If you'd like to learn more, stop by UC 127 or contact us at involvement@uww.edu or call 262-472-6217.
Welcome back to PEOMIOSFYRDS. Let's wrap it up by taking our last final thoughts from today's episode. Now, for me, I feel like there's a lot of names that we didn't get to. Unfortunately, we just crunched for time, and there's just so many to really take into consideration. One I feel that was egregiously missed was Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, Lou Alcindor, formerly known, UCLA grad, Bucks player, Lakers more famously. I mean, he was the one who held the record that LeBron broke, and I mean, it just so iconic. The Skyhook and Airplane is a movie that he was in that I feel is a good one. It's a classic. Wilt is another one. He holds like half of the single game scoring records, which is just incredible. He has got a couple rings. He's 7th all-time scorer, 1st in rebounds, and Wilt the Stilt, that was all done before the three-point line even. And then lastly, Bo Jackson. Athleticism, I believe, has to have some versatility, and being able to do so well within football, being recognized within Tecmo Bowl, and then in baseball as well with that iconic catch that he ran up the wall. I feel like that just really exemplifies what it means to be an athlete.
Yeah, and GOAT I think we missed today was Tiger Woods. Obviously, you know, he is in a different sport, so it's, you know, not to the same, you know, athletic ways that the other sports are, but Tiger Woods has definitely proved himself to be one of the best of all time. He has won 82 official PGA Tour events, which is tied first, and then he has 15 majors, which is second only behind Jack Nicklaus. And then his scoring average in 2000 of 67.79 is the best all time, and he has the lowest score average in PGA Tour history. So he definitely shows up big in those tournaments, and that's why I would agree with, you know, him being one of the best GOATs of all time. The last player I would like to talk about would be Lawrence Taylor. Definitely one of the best defensive players of all time, where he had 132.5 sacks in only 13 seasons.
Indeed. And I believe Jim Brown would be another name to mention, but I digress upon that point. That will do it all for us here tonight. Thank you for watching, and tune in next time to hear more hot takes all around the world of sports. This has been Please Excuse Our Momentary Interruption of Sports from your regular daily schedule here on UWW-TV.
You gotta let us get our